Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims 4 Create a Sim / introduction video. Although this one's actually more of a reintroduction because for this one, I'm converting Shelly Reed, a sim that I originally made in The Sims 2, over to The Sims 4 for my Cats and Dogs Let's Play, because she will be one of the main characters in that series. So Shelly started off life in Sims 2, as I said, and she was actually created originally just as part of like a Throwback Thursday special where I made her, as well as her cat Theo. And, well, I can't make Theo right now because I don't have cats and dogs yet, but I still wanted to remake Shelly in Sims 4 so I could at least get that done with, because like remaking Sims can be a little bit stressful sometimes. It's definitely a bit more effort than just making a sim from scratch and just making whatever I feel like. So I just really wanted to get that done with so that once I did have cats and dogs, then there would be less setup to do before actually starting to record. And I've converted Sims from The Sims 3 before, but never The Sims 2, so this is a bit of a first. And, well, I actually was a bit worried that this sim was not going to turn out like Shelly at all at first, but I think by the end it does all come together. I think I should have maybe made her head a little bit narrower, because when I was doing the thumbnail for this video I didn't realize until then. I was like, oh wow, actually her head in The Sims 2 is pretty narrow. So yeah, maybe I'll just have to go back and correct that later, because I've already uploaded her to the gallery by the time you're seeing this. But still, I think it's still a pretty good remake of her. I even got her outfit fairly similar, though in the end I actually ended up going with 2 everyday outfits, because there's that one top from Cool Kitchen where it's kind of like a tank top, but it also has a sweater on it. It's pretty popular in the Sims community, I think. You might know what I'm talking about if you have that stuff pack. But I thought that looked really good on her in the brown variant. And oh yeah, here I'm doing her lipstick because I did actually have my Create a Sim video of Shelly in The Sims 2 open on my laptop beside me just so I could directly compare and try to get her skin tone as close as possible. And it was really funny that my favorite hair from Romantic Garden stuff was perfect for her. I think that makes her look a bit more like Shelly as well. And that nose piercing is from Praline Sims, from The Sims Resource. I almost didn't use a piercing, even though she has one in The Sims 2, because with the first sim that was generated, I don't think it was the one you saw at the very beginning of this video. Maybe it was, but whoever I was experimenting with, the ring looked really weird. It looked almost like a booger of sorts, like it was coming out of the nose and then into kind of like the right corner, and it just looked awkward. But then I was like in the middle of recording, just like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna try this one more time and we'll see if it works. And sure enough, it actually it looks how it's supposed to. So I guess the other sim just had a very bad nose structure for nose rings, and well, I guess that's why we don't already have those in The Sims 4. Yeah, I mean, I'd still love to see them in The Sims 4 officially, but yeah, I guess that's why it's such a challenge, just so that, yeah, you don't have booger nose rings. And actually, right now I'm picking her everyday wear, and this might have been the hardest part, although still really fun. Maybe the most fun part of doing this Create a Sim is just like, yeah, the base game top that was on her a few seconds ago, and there it is again, it's like, okay, yeah, I guess that looks pretty similar to what she has in The Sims 2, but didn't have the right color. Didn't have the color I was going for, so I went through a few other ones, but I did decide on a jacket from Get Together. I think that still emulates her Sims 2 look pretty well without it having to be exactly the same. And I'm really happy that I managed to nail the whole jeans tucked into the boots aesthetic that she had in The Sims 2 as well. And yeah, I did make the colors a little bit different at the end on purpose just so that they matched with the jacket a bit better. But overall, yeah, I'm really happy with the clothes that I chose for her. But I think now I'll talk a little bit more about her backstory, just recap it a little bit for those of you who didn't see that initial Sims 2 Create a Sim that I did for the Throwback Thursday. So basically, Shelly grew up in the suburbs with her parents. She's an only child, and when she grew up, she decided that she wanted a change of pace. She didn't want to keep living in the suburbs and in the city, so she ended up moving out to the rural town of River Blossom Hills. A few weeks after she moved in, she found a stray Scottish fold cat in her front yard. It was in the middle of winter, and he had nowhere to go, so Shelly decided to take him in and get him warmed up. They got along really well, and Shelly decided to adopt him since she ended up realizing that this stray had no owner. And I named him Theo after Theodore the Tugboat, which is a cartoon that I used to watch when I was younger. It's kind of like Thomas the Tank Engine, except it's about boats instead of trains. And that's pretty much where they're at right now. I didn't originally plan for Shelly to become canon and join the universe I have going with my Sims 4 Let's Plays, but I think Shelly would make for a good veterinarian, because with cats and dogs, we can run our own vet clinics, so that's going to be her role in my Cats and Dogs Let's Play. She'll be roommates with October, who was the autumn-inspired creative sim that I did recently. I probably will do a video for Theo once I have my copy of Cats and Dogs. We'll see what happens. I don't think it'll be all that complicated to create a pet video, but we'll see. I might just do it anyways. Create a pet videos will definitely become a thing on my channel though, because I definitely want to play around and see what kind of pets I can create. So Cats Fever is definitely gonna hit me hard a second time, because not only are there some really awesome clothes for human sims coming with cats and dogs, I'm just gonna have like a whole separate mode, because then we'll have the create a pet too. Well, it's still within Create a Sim, but yeah, it's still going to be a lot of new potential ideas that I can do. Oh yeah, so here I'm having a hard time deciding on her athletic wear. I end up going with something a bit different in the end, because yeah, I like that sweater from Parenthood, but I don't know, like with Shelly, I feel like she wears warmer stuff most of the time, so yeah, I ended up going with that sweater from Get to Work instead. Because like I did try to do a layered look with custom content with the Parenthood sweater, but I was like, because like with the top, it feels like it's supposed to be exposed a little bit, so yeah, I don't know, it didn't feel right to me. Maybe it could look right with a different sim, but with Shelly I just decided, nah, this look is better. The shoes I had a surprisingly hard time with too, but yeah, I do settle on something pretty shortly. And pretty soon, I'm going to be choosing her sleepwear, and I do end up giving her 2 outfits for that category as well, because what I tend to do for at least most of my female sims now who are adults, I choose like one that's more like pajamas, and then I have one that's more like, I guess, it's sexier. It's more like lingerie. Like, remember how in The Sims 2 there was like pajamas and sleepwear? That's kind of like along the lines I was thinking of, and it works extra well for this sim in particular since, well, she's from The Sims 2. So I was kind of struggling to decide on more the second one. The first one I think came together really well, but then with the second one I was not sure what to go with. But I think it worked okay too. I mean, I feel like I'm at least pretty decent in terms of choosing styles that really match with the Sims that I'm making and their personality. And with the first sleepwear outfit, I really like how that one turned out, because the crop top is from this Teen Style Stuff fan-made stuff pack that's made by Lumia Lover Sims and Synth. It's a really cute stuff pack. I really like it. It's not an official one, but I do like how it's named after the teen stuff pack from Sims 2, which is actually the exact same name. And I actually laughed out loud when that top hat appeared as her party wear. I was like, yeah, no, not her style. I actually need to do more creative Sims where the Sims wear hats. I think I've forgotten about that recently, so yeah, that's something I should definitely do again. I don't know what creative sim I'll do that with, but yeah, that was pretty funny just seeing that top hat. But with the party wear, I actually do end up going with the layered look that I tried to go for with Athletic, because I really love that top, and I think it really suits her. It does remind me of equestrians for some reason. Unfortunately, we don't have horses in The Sims 4, but hopefully someday that Maxis will be able to make that work. But yeah, it's like, I love that top, but I don't like how it's short sleeves, so I ended up going through my custom content, and I found this one where it's like, okay, like I couldn't find one that was exactly the same color, but it was close enough to where it's like, okay, I think this works. And we are starting to get close to the end of this video, so I'm just going to talk about the traits that I chose for her, as well as her aspiration, because for her aspiration, I chose the, what was it, the nature one, where you can be a freelance botanist, but that's not going to be her actual final aspiration, because I do want her to be an animal lover. That's a new aspiration that we're getting with cats and dogs, and I think it suits her, but I was just like, okay, well, she loves nature, so I just decided to give her that as a temporary one. And the traits I gave her are cheerful, good, and loves the outdoors. I don't know if I'll change any of the traits, because there is cat lover and dog lover, but I don't know, I think the 3 traits that I already chose for her are pretty good. And it was kind of interesting thinking along the lines of, okay, how do I translate Shelly's personality from The Sims 2 to The Sims 4, because with The Sims 1 and 2, they used these personality points instead of traits. So I was like, okay, alright, so she's pretty playful in The Sims 2, so that's why I decided to give her cheerful, and I was like, well, yeah, she's good, she wants to be a vet, and she loves nature and the countryside, so loves the outdoor, I think was a pretty good fit for her too. And I think I'm just gonna wrap up my voiceover now, so I hope you're as excited for cats and dogs as I am. Like, seriously, this expansion pack is a game changer. Like, it's gonna make The Sims 4 feel like The Sims 4.5, I think. That's how it always seems to be whenever the Pets expansion comes around for each Sims game. And I'm so excited to start my Let's Play for it as well. So be sure to leave a like or a comment or even subscribe, because it lets me know that you like my channel and my videos, and it helps you keep up to date more easily with the latest content from me. I do videos on The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. So I'll talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!